pretty overrated visuals. Everyone seems to be like simping over how pretty people like Jimin look, but I can't really see it at all. There are some celebrities and like instances when I don't think the person is like that pretty, but like other people do. However, I can see where people are coming from when they think the person is attractive, but for BTS, I don't really see it. I feel like the only people who are decently good looking in BTS is V and Sugar, but like for how popular and hyped up their visuals are, I just don't really think they live up to that like hyped up standard. And I'm not saying like their songs are bad or like they don't deserve, I guess, like the amount of hype and popularity they have, but like I think in terms of visuals and how pretty they look, I think they are very overrated. I'm just going to say that I don't think BTS or Blackpink paved the way in any music industry for K-pop. Some of you might think I'm biased, but I actually really like Blackpink. They're one of my favorite groups of all time. But neither of these groups paved the way as a lot of K-pop stans think. The people or songs that I do think paved the way, I guess, would be people like Boa and Psy in Hyuna's Bubble Pop. If these people didn't exist, BTS or Blackpink wouldn't really have the success that they have today. But then again, I'm not downplaying the achievements of Blackpink or BTS and saying that they are of no significance. In fact, that the achievements that they have achieved and the records that they have broken are really important for themselves and the whole K-pop industry. But to say that they paved the way for K-pop is a little bit too much. I'm gonna get whacked for this, but I don't think TWICE has any good rappers. I'm not saying that Chaeyoung is horrible, like she is pretty decent, but her raps compared to other girl group rappers like Moonbyul, Dummy, Soyeon, Jennie, like the raps that these girls have showcased compared to what Chaeyoung has done, doesn't really put TWICE on the same platform in terms of rapping. I also keep seeing videos in my recommended to prove that like Chaeyoung is a good rapper, but in the videos they keep on repeating the same 3 clips over and over again, which doesn't really show me how good people think she is. Her flow is, I guess, kind of average, and in terms of delivery it's like okay, but sometimes kind of lacking, I guess. But again, the 3 videos isn't really showing me a lot of variety, so at times I don't really know what to think. And a lot of people say that she is like a rap prodigy. Like, I kind of saw that potential in her when she was in 16, but as time progressed, I don't think that's as true as it was before anymore. But I'm just going to stop here in case someone actually shows up at my door tomorrow. Underrated groups. I hate it when people say that certain groups are underrated. The word has been used so much and of such a frequency everywhere that it's almost as if it's lost its meaning. I'm also sick of people claiming that certain successful groups are underrated. Just because their success is not as massive compared to groups such as BTS does not mean that they are underrated. I've also seen people claim that Stray Kids is underrated. Who are you kidding? And recently, Luna and Dreamcatcher have been gathering quite a solid fan base with their amazing comebacks, and people are still calling them underrated. Do you see the problem here? I think calling groups like Luna and Dreamcatcher underrated in this time is kind of demeaning to the efforts that they have put into their recent comebacks. So instead of like supporting the groups, I guess that is what these people wanted to achieve by claiming certain groups are underrated, in actual fact they're actually kind of hurting the groups itself. I think if people are going to continue using the word underrated, they need to think before they do it and use it on groups that are, I guess, actually quote unquote underrated. Unpopular opinion I have is on big hit stands. This isn't dragging the group or anyone part of the company, but in actual fact it's dragging the fans. I think people need to stop introducing TXT, G-Friend or ENHYPEN with BTS. Bro, just stop. Just because they're under the same company does not mean they have to be introduced together. Like, they're under the same company, but they're under different labels. This is the same with 17 as well. Recently, 17 has been doing so well for themselves, and I hate it when 17 achieves something. Fans are always so quick to say, oh yes, it's because they're under Big Hit now. No, Big Hit has done nothing for 17. 17 has done everything for 17. It's funny how whenever 17 does something amazing, people always try bring in Big Hit and BTS. But as soon as something goes sour, fans are always saying, oh, don't drag Big Hit or BTS into this. Like, they're not even related. Like, bro, stop. Just pick one side of the story and stick to it. I'm just gonna say that I think NCT 2020 wasn't as good as NCT 2018. I'm not saying the songs in the album were, because they were actually really good. I'm just saying that 5-minute song that was a mashup of a lot of the other tracks was just not good. Like, SM, really? I think with the concept, 2018 was better. Although not many people got lines, but it's SM, what do we really expect? Like, Black on Black had every member involved and gave fans a whole new song with everyone. And they even all went on like reality programs to promote their songs, which I think was better planned than 2020. Like, in terms of line distribution, 2020 was better, but I think SM kind of just got lazy. The next unpopular opinion I have is on local K-pop fans and their opinions they have on Korean fans and Chinese fans. I've seen this a lot where members of a group or fans of a group will say something to a particular idol along the lines of, whoa, you're so skinny, whoa, you're like a little pig. And Western K-pop fans are so quick to jump the gun and call out the idol or the fan for body shaming. But in Asian culture, if you call someone skinny, it's generally a compliment. And on the other hand, if someone tells you that you should gain weight or you should work out, it's often in a really caring tone and they only say it because they care about you. And it's very acceptable in Chinese culture. I've seen a lot of fans drag Lucas of NCT for calling Quinn a pig, but a lot of that is lost in translation. In China, if someone calls you a pig, of course it can be interpreted as rude, but often it's an endearing form of speech and it describes another person as, I guess, quite innocent and very cute. I guess people need to understand the context and the culture of the conversation before they drag anyone. I guess it's just common sense. Like, local fans just need to apply common sense onto the things they're tweeting. I think that Stan Twitter is way too sensitive for its own good and is literally the birthplace of every single K-pop drama that is caused by fans. If you can't handle something, just go away. Just stop if you don't like them. And if someone is coming at your favorite group for something and you don't like it, just leave them alone, bro. You can have your opinion, but you don't have to throw a tantrum on the internet. No one wants to see it, just do it at home. Like, newsflash, bro. Idols don't have time to scroll on Twitter to see children whining and children teaching them how to be better. Okay, this next one, I guess, isn't really an opinion, but by now, everyone knows about GOT7's disbandment. And the members themselves have been saying that they're going to do activities together, but sometimes you kind of just have to have a reality check and consider the fact that GOT7 probably isn't going to do group activities forever. Maybe for the first couple months, but like the fact that Jackson mainly promotes in China and that Mark is probably going to promote in America, like, how do you expect group projects to go on when two people are literally on the other side of the globe? Like, it could work in like short term, but in the long term, this kind of thing just isn't really sustainable. The next opinion I have is directed at SM. Like, they recently debuted a girl group called aespa, and personally I really like them, but the teaser photos they released look scarily like AI. I know their concept is like supernatural and all this technology kind of stuff, but like the editing of the members' photos in the debut pictures on their Instagram is just not it. Like, the recent pictures have gotten a little bit better, but like the teaser pictures just were kind of scary. Like, they are really talented, but something about SM and what they did to their visuals kind of freaked me out. I'm not sure who this next opinion is targeted at, but I guess it's fans. So everybody gets depressed on how their idols have to go to the military, and the government has even talked about evoking the need for idols to serve in the military at all, and even Jimin's military service was pushed back. But idols are basically normal humans, but famous. If everybody needs to serve in the military in Korea, then I think idols should as well. It's not fair for normal civilians to have to serve in the military, but for some famous kids to not need to do it. If that happens, everybody's just going to be a K-pop idol then. Also, just some light on this topic, I also saw a hilarious tweet recently about how some people on Stan Twitter, of course, were pissed when they found out that none of the WayV members were going to serve in the military. Bro, do you think a bunch of Chinese guys and a Thai guy would serve in Korea? Like, think that through again. Oh my god, I just can't. The next opinion I have, I guess, would be kind of popular, and it's that I don't like ITZY's light stick. It kind of looks like a Wii steering wheel, and how am I even supposed to hold that thing without looking like I'm playing a video game? Another opinion I have on ITZY is that their kind of very I am confident and I'm different concept is kind of growing out on me. Like, Dala Dala was a bop and I listened to that every single day. Like, that song is the best. But they've been doing like the same concept for like their whole entire career that I think if they continue to do this, we are going to get very little variety and their fan base is kind of just going to stop growing. However, I do think if they do like another concept, it'll probably be a massive hit. Okay, that's the end of my unpopular opinions. I hope you enjoyed me yelling and ranting. If you have any unpopular opinions and you agree with me, you can comment them if you want, but like, do it with caution because Stan Twitter people might be on here and you might get dragged along with me. Okay, thank you, bye. But I think somebody has to say this. I think Ollie London actually kind of looks like Jim.